In this lecture, we will learn about count function in SQL. The count function is used to count the data rows returned in the result set. The count function counts distinct or all values in data rows returned in a result set. The count function does not count null values. Here are some of the examples of SQL statements showing use of count function. Let's learn more about count function with some practical examples. I have logged in my MySQL database server. I'll select school database and execute a simple SQL statement to display all the records from students table. Select star from students, and you can see we have 59 data rows in our students table. Now let's count the data rows using count function in a SQL statement. The SQL statement will be select count in the bracket star from students, and sure enough we get count value as 59. We can also use an alias to give the name to data column, like select count star as total rows from students. Press enter to execute the SQL statement, and this time we get count value and the data column name as given by us in SQL statement. We already know we have 3 distinct values in column class. Let's get the value using SQL statement with count function, like select count in the bracket distinct class from students. This SQL statement will get only the distinct value from the column name class of the students table. I'll press enter to execute the SQL statement, and sure enough we get only value 3 for the SQL statement. Now I will use company database. We already learned about left outer join. By using left outer join, we can get data rows from employees and the projects they are working on. The left outer join SQL statement is select e dot employee ID, e dot name, e dot job title, comma p dot title from employees as e, left outer join projects as p on e dot employee ID equal to p dot employee ID semicolon to terminate the SQL statement. I'll press enter to execute the query, and we get 25 data rows. In this case, you can see out of 25 data rows, only 6 data rows of title column have string value, while the remaining data rows title column have null value, means no value. As we have learned in this lecture, the count function does not count null values. If we try to count the total data rows in the title column using SQL statement, it should only return the 6. Let's count the value using modifying the SQL statement as select count in the bracket p dot title bracket complete, and let's remove these data columns so that we get only count values. I'll press enter to execute the SQL statement, and sure enough we get only the count value 6, that is from this title, and the null values are escaped in the count function.